5 rounds of fixtures and only 5 televised games that we're going to be getting in the Premier Sports Cup group stage. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Pretty disappointing news here. We got the draw, we got the schedule for the Premier Sports Cup. The TV selections have been confirmed, and there's only 5 games being selected for TV. Now, there will be 5 rounds of fixtures, obviously 5 teams in each group, so you've got basically 5 match days of Premier Sports Cup fixtures, and it looks like we're going to be getting 1 televised game per fixture. I believe that's how things are right now. So yeah, we got the draw a couple of days ago on Wednesday. Now the schedule has been confirmed. The TV games have been confirmed. And we're just going to go right now and get into it. So let's just go through each group. So Group A, first thing I can see here is there's no televised games in Group A. Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. So, you know, the group stage does come to an end very quickly. It's played over 2 weeks. You got the opening games, Falkirk against Brecon City, the Spartans versus Queen's Park, and on the final round in Group A, it's the Falkers versus the Spartans, and Queen's Park versus Cove Rangers. So, no televised games in Group A. Slightly disappointing for fans of that group. Group B starts with Edinburgh City versus Partick Thistle, Stranraer versus Ross County. I think probably the tie of the round in this one is going to be on the last day, Saturday, July 26th. You've got Ross County versus Partick Thistle. That very well could be a decider. The winner of that could determine who wins Group B. So, I mean, that's going to be a good game. It would be a game, I think, worthy of being televised, but Premier Sports Cup have not gave it the green light. We're going to Group C. Still no televised games here. It starts with Bonnyrigg Rose versus Alloa. You've got Dundee versus Airdrieonians. The final fixtures, Airdrieonians versus Alloa, Dundee versus Montrose. No televised games in Group C. We go into Group D, and we have our first televised game, and it will be the final game of Group D. Now, for some reason, this is happening on a Sunday. I'm not too sure why. I thought all the final games took place on Saturday. This one's taking place a day later on July 27th. St Mirren versus Ayr United. Is it the pick of the round in Group D? Is it the pick of the bunch? Absolutely. You look at all these fixtures. I think the standout fixture on this group is definitely St Mirren, Ayr United, and that game will be on Premier Sports, 3 p.m. And similar to the Ross County one and Partick Thistle, this tie could possibly decide who wins Group D. You know, if Ayr United are in a position where they can overtake St Mirren going into the final day, and that one will be on Premier Sports, and that's a 3 p.m. kickoff. So, I mean, that's a decent game. I can't complain with that. That's a decent game. We go into Group E, and straight away you can see there's 2 Premier Sports games on Group E, and both of them involve Hearts. You've got the opening fixture on Saturday, July 12th, Hearts versus Dunfermline Athletic. It's a 5:15 kickoff. That one's on Premier Sports on Saturday 19th, a week later. You've also got another Hearts game on Premier Sports, Stirling Albion versus Heart of Midlothian. So you've got 2 Hearts games here that are being televised on Premier Sports for the group stages. And the final fixtures, Hearts do not play on the final Saturday. It's Dunfermline versus Stirling Albion and Hamilton versus Dumbarton. So Hearts here are getting 2 games, which is, I mean, I'm happy about that, but I just think overall 5 matches isn't really enough over the group stage. I think they could have given us a few more. I mean, it looks like at the moment they're averaging about 1 game a match day. I think they could have given us 10. I definitely think they could have given us 10, but for whatever reason, they have not. We're going to Group F. No televised games in Group F. You've got East Kilbride versus St Johnstone, Elgin City versus Raith Rovers. Final round of fixtures, Raith Rovers versus Inverness and St Johnstone versus Elgin City. No televised games in there. We go into Group G. Clyde versus Motherwell to kick off the group. Then you've got Peterhead, Greenock Morton. On Tuesday, though, July 22nd, you've got Motherwell versus Greenock Morton at Fir Park, and that is on Premier Sports, a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. Motherwell, Greenock Morton. That is the 4th game that we can see here televised. The final fixtures of that group You've got Greenock Morton versus Clyde and Stenhousemuir versus Peterhead. And then Group H, this is where we have the final Premier Sports televised match, and that will take place on July 16th, Wednesday. It's going to be Kelly versus Livingston, 7:45pm kickoff. Should be a good game. Two Premiership teams there, two teams with a plastic pitch. Is it the correct decision for that game to be televised? I'd say so. I mean, it's one of the rare, it might be the only all-Premiership clash in the entire Premier Sports Cup, so makes sense as to why they would certainly pick that game to be one of the televised matches for sure. And Group H will finish with Kilmarnock versus East Fife and Livingston versus Kelty Hearts. So the two teams that you'd expect to compete at the top of this group, both at home going into the final Saturday. But I have a feeling this group will probably be decided on this game here, the Wednesday, July 16th. I'd argue the winner of that one will be in pole position to win Group H. And then we go into, well, that's it actually. So I thought there was another group, but my maths wasn't mathing. So yeah, that is it. 5 games. Now, they did mention something about the possibility of extra games being available on the Premier Sports app. Now, I don't know if Premier Sports have an app. I wasn't aware that they had an app, and I don't know how good the app will be, but I did see something about more games possibly being available on the app. How many more games, which games will be available on the app, I do not know, but I mean, fingers crossed that we do have an option to watch more than just 5. But that's the fixtures then for the group stage. I believe it says here, live broadcast. Please note that fixtures not selected for live TV coverage remain subject to change for broadcast on the Premier Sports app. So there may be some games here that are not selected for television that might still appear on the Premier Sports app, but I can't imagine it will be many. Maybe a couple if we're lucky, but if we get an extra few games, then here, guys, that is absolutely better than nothing. So there's your fixtures. Televised games, go through them one more time. Kilmarnock versus Livingston at Rugby Park. You've got Motherwell versus Greenock Morton at Fir Park. You have Stirling Albion versus Heart of Midlothian. Jesus Christ, I cannot remember the name of Stirling Albion's pitch or their stadium. I'll just have to give that one a pass. You've got Hearts versus Dunfermline at Tynecastle. And then the other game, did I just miss it? Did I just scroll through it? I must have totally missed it. Oh, St Mirren. Aye, there you go. St Mirren versus Ayr United at 3 o'clock. That should be a good game as well. So, yeah, Premier Sports Cup, guys, looking forward to it. 5 games guaranteed live on Premier Sports and possibly more through the app. So, yeah, there you go. There's your schedule. There's your televised games. Leave a like, leave a comment. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.